Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Personal Collection. I think we're almost on episode 20. This might be it. But this week I have a good friend, Curt. He's over on Twitter. What was your @name?
Curt Burner. It's my real name, and it's my Twitter address also. It's not a burner account. Burner is my real last name.
Perfect. But he's always in a bunch of Twitter threads and also on the card story sale every single Wednesday. So I've known Curt quite a bit over there. And today we're going to be talking about his Negro League baseball card collection. On the channel, as you guys see, every week we're trying to have a different collection on the channel. We haven't had one yet on Negro League players, and a few people reached out to me and said, I have to have Curt on the show. So Curt, welcome, man. I appreciate you taking some time to join.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you having me. Yeah, I mean, so like Ryan said, I don't do social media. I'm not good at it, first of all. But I only do Twitter, and I've made so many great friends in the hobby on Twitter. And like right before we get started in looking at some of my cards, I have to say a personal thank you to everyone on Twitter who's my friends. You are all my friends. But there was a group that got together, and right before Christmas, my 24-year-old daughter died unexpectedly. And so it was a tragic holiday season, and the friends on Twitter are so good. I mean, they're true friends. They made two donations, one to the Roberto Clemente Foundation and one to the Roberto Clemente Museum, in the amount of $1,050 each. And when you add that up, that's $2,100. And Roberto Clemente's number, of course, is 21. So my friends on Twitter understood that, and they collected money and they made that donation. And then the Clemente Museum and Foundation sent me 2 plaques that are absolutely gorgeous of Roberto Clemente. And honestly, you guys know, I'm not going to read through the list of names, but you guys know who you are. And it's not just, those 20 guys, right, that actually, donated money and they sent flowers and cards, and everyone did. And the outpouring was, it made my heart glad. And my wife, who doesn't even know that I exist on Twitter, she was like, these people they've never even met you. And I go, these people are wonderful, and you guys truly are. And you're included in that, Ryan. Everyone who, I posted it on Twitter after my daughter died, and I got so many, well wishes, so many people saying, prayers to you. We're thinking of you, hang in there. So many well wishes. Like I said, I'm not going to read all the list. If you want to go back and look at my Twitter feed, and you can look at everyone who reached out to me, to help me. And it was such a good feeling. And I can't say enough about the Twitter family. Anyway, that's enough with that. But it's just, I just wanted to let everyone know, thank you for being friends. And I don't want to do anything on Twitter that would make anyone think that we're anything but friends, any of us. There's nothing that's worth it, to ruin a friendship. And so anyway, that's my goal, to make everyone a friend. My mom always said you can never have too many of them, and I agree with that, and I've lived my life like that. So anyway, with that aside, let's get started with what Ryan has me here for, to look at some cards. My name's Curt Burner, and I grew up in West Virginia. I'm an older collector. I just turned 60 in January. Started collecting baseball cards really in earnest when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. In 1971, when the Pirates were in their heyday, Roberto Clemente was the king of Pittsburgh. And he was my hero and my baseball idol. And I collected everything Roberto Clemente that I could get my hands on. And then when he died, tragically on, January 1st or New Year's Eve, 1973, it broke my heart. I never forgot. And I always hold Clemente in high esteem. He's a baseball hero, and probably sports' greatest humanitarian, in my opinion. So anyway, I was a Roberto Clemente collector and Pittsburgh Pirate collector. When I was 8, and I collected, I guess like most people, I collected, just bought packs and collected all the cards, put them in a shoebox, until I got into high school and other interests took over. the opposite sex, partying with friends, sports and everything else. And so I probably quit collecting probably around 77-ish, I'm guessing. Went into the Army at 18. Obviously did not collect any cards when I was in the Army for the next 20 years or so, until I retired. When I had 3 kids, my other 2 kids are boys. And so we kind of collected baseball cards together. We'd buy packs and look through them. They love looking through packs. And so we kind of did that. And again, we took those cards, put them in put them in shoe boxes, put them in trunks. And I really didn't get back into the hobby. Now, to cut to the chase, really didn't get back into the hobby until the pandemic hit. And so I started, I'm teleworking, I'm working from home. I'm available to work 24/7. I feel like I have no life other than work. And so I said, I wonder how my baseball cards are doing. And so I went online. I said, I wonder, what these are worth, or if anyone values these things. Come to find out, they're increasing, and they increased in value greatly. And so I kind of got back into it. And the great thing about getting back into it, when you're 58 or 57 years old, is like you have time, like to look for that stuff, for all the things that you like, and you have money to buy it. So
that is the toughest part about being a young collector. I will say that.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I don't have an infinite amount of funds. I'm not independently wealthy, but I do have a steady paycheck, which is nice. I got that going for me. So my dad was always a Cleveland Indians fan, and his favorite player was Larry Doby, who is, as most of you will know, Larry Doby broke the color barrier in the American League in the same year that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in baseball, 1947. Just a few weeks after Jackie broke the color barrier, Larry Doby did it in the American League.
You got one right here.
That's my favorite Larry Doby card, 1952. That's a great card. It's a great card. I love that card, man.
I literally just picked it up this weekend. As you're talking, like, I have to show it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Like, that card's awesome. And it's a 1952, which, is like
the classic.
Yeah, probably the most iconic set, ever made. So yeah, it's got 2 things going for it: Larry Doby and 1952 Topps. How much better does it get? It can't get better. That's it. So anyway, back to the story. So I started out thinking, okay, now I'm going to finish my Roberto Clemente collection, because I had a pretty extensive collection, but I didn't have all of these base cards from all the years. And so I went back and I started looking at which ones I was missing. And the first one I came across on eBay was Clemente's, and this isn't in the Negro League part. This is my main PC is Clemente.
And before you guys see some cards, I have to thank the sponsor of this video, which is myslabs.com.
1% sound. Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Okay. The Negro League is something I got into later. But I got this card. Oops, I don't know if you can you guys see that?
Yeah, you can see it, just the label. There we go. Perfect. Like that, with the lighting is perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the 1961 Clemente PSA 6. I added it to my collection. Getting back into the hobby, I was a little shocked at all the grading that was going on. And although I was just talking to Ryan about this, I'm not a huge fan of grading. It does add some benefits, to the buyer and the seller. The biggest of which is, and this goes back to Ryan's his recent book that he just published about recognizing frauds, is you have someone there that says this is an authentic card and it's not a fraud. So that, there are good things about it. And so when I buy most of my cards nowadays, most of them are graded. If you can find a seller that you trust and that can that you trust implicitly to know that they're authentic cards. Like, for example, one guy on Twitter Chris Burkhart at CTB Cards. Like I trust Chris implicitly, right? Chris sold me this card when I got back into the hobby. Can you see that?
Yep, we can see it. The Clementi
Okay,
rookie.
so that's my Roberto Clemente rookie card.
Was
And
it raw?
Huh?
Did he
What's
sell
that?
to you raw or graded?
He sold it to me raw. Okay. Because Roberto Clemente is my favorite card, my favorite player, and my favorite card of his, and which I didn't have, I wanted it protected because I knew I was going to display it. You know, I wanted it displayed. I want to hold it out for everyone to see. It's always on my desk. It's always on the front of my desk, always. It never leaves. And I love that card so much, and I love Chris so much for selling it to me.
Would you say that's your favorite card ever in your collection then?
It is. That's my favorite card because it's Clemente. Because it's Clemente, it's his rookie card. The only card that I could get that would rival that, which I don't have, and I hope to get someday, would be a Jackie Robinson rookie card.
Ooh, which one?
Okay. Either one, the Bowman or the Leaf. It wouldn't matter to me, honestly. I should have bought it right when I got back into the hobby, right when the pandemic hit, because you could still get into a one, a graded one for $800 plus or minus, right? Now, if you look for a one, it's at least 2,000. It's at least $2,000 if you're lucky,
Those are the bad ones too, as well.
Yeah, those are the ones, right? I could have got into a one for, like I said, for $800, $700 back when the pandemic first hit, and now I can't get into one of those for under $2,000. And I don't know, guys, but for me, I can't pay $2,000 for a piece of cardboard. I can't do it. If I can find a deal sometime, with someone to trade something, if I have something someone wants and, trade works out, then great. But I'm not going to press my luck, to find a good one. But anyway, that's out there. So what I wanted to do, okay, aside from the Clemente part, and because I knew my dad loved Negro League players like Larry Doby, I said, I'm going to collect the rookie card of every player that broke the color barrier for their team. So the rookie card, and I wanted to get it, and I wanted it graded. Okay, I wanted the rookie card graded for every player who broke the color barrier for his team, going back to the first one. So naturally, the first one is Jackie Robinson, but because it was $800 then, I thought that's too much right now. So I put it off, and I ended up getting some other ones. And let me just pull them up.
Now, is there a registry on PSA for every player that broke the color barrier, or is that something you came up with?
No, I think PSA has one, but it's not the rookie cards. It's like the color barrier, but it's different years. So I'm not doing that. All right. So I've got the cards here in my hand right here. This is them. This is the graded rookie cards of every player that broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, minus Jackie Robinson. Okay. So Jackie Robinson was the first. And so thanks to Chris at CTB Cards, I was able to get this beauty.
The 53.
Yeah. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. So Chris got me this card, right? And I'm forever grateful to Chris. Like, he got me Clementi Rookie's card. He got me the 53 Jackie Robinson, which to me is another iconic card.
It's card number 1, isn't it?
It's card number 1. Yep. And so I don't have his rookie card, but if you can't have his rookie card, like, honestly, I can't think of a better one to have than this one, in my opinion. Everyone has an opinion, right? So in my opinion, that one looks the nicest of all the other Jackie Robinson rookie cards.
It's all the portraits on those. The paintings are so nice. I mean, 53 is up there with like the best designs ever.
They really are. I mean, they're such awesome cards. I mean, you just can't say enough good things about it, right? So then we go to the next one, right? The next color barrier, and that's Larry Doby. He was the next one in line. And I should have put these in order.
Oh, that's all right. Let me guess. You got the Bowman?
Here. Okay, and some of these still have the plastic covers on them because I didn't take them off because it's an extra protection. But yeah, this is the 49 Bowman Larry Doby. Can you see that?
Yeah, and the Doby's a high number, right? I think it is.
Number, yeah, 233.
33. I know. It was like 240 in the set or something like that.
Yeah, there's 240 in the set. This is 233. So this is my favorite Larry Doby card, which is my dad's favorite player.
And a 3.5. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, so that was really the first high dollar card that I bought when I got back into the hobby. Cost me a couple $100. Which, you know, like I said, I had a job. Hey, it's all good, right? Okay, the next one up, the next guy to break the color barrier for his team is Hank Thompson. Okay, and here's Hank Thompson's. That's his rookie card.
The New York Giants.
Yep, he broke the color barrier with the New York Giants. That's his 1950 Bowman card, and that's a PSA 7.5.
Wow, that's sharp.
Yeah, I was lucky to get that card. But so he broke the color barrier he broke the color barrier for two teams. Okay. He broke the color barrier with the Giants first. No, he broke the color barrier with the St. Louis Browns first. I'm sorry. And that was on July 17th, 1947, right after Doby, and that's why he's third. Jackie Robinson, Doby, and Hank Thompson. And then he broke the color barrier again 2 years later with the New York Giants. So he didn't get a rookie card till that Giants card. That's his rookie card. And he broke the color barrier with the Giants in 49 with this guy right here.
Monty Irvin.
Right, Monty Irvin.
Got one of his 52s this weekend also. I kind of lucked out on those 52s.
Oh, those 52s are little pieces of art, man.
They are.
They're so awesome. So this is a 51 Bowman. It's an SGC 3. And this was the most difficult. This was one of the most difficult cards for me to get. Not because it was so expensive, but because there just weren't any of them out there. Like I looked forever for this card. It took me 6 months to find this card.
Dang.
And I was searching every day. I mean, I was searching eBay. I was searching just the internet for like clean sweep auctions, Four Sharp Corners website, Dave and Adams. I was looking online. I was looking everywhere and I couldn't find it. Finally, that one popped up, and I think I overpaid for it, but I didn't care at that point. I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man! I'm getting it."
Sometimes it has to happen. I mean, if it's that rare of a card, or you just can't find it for your PC, just buy it. And then how many hours you put searching for things, it's sometimes just worth the overpay a little bit.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, and I've learned I don't like to overpay, but I find myself doing it for cards that in my mind are rare. They're probably not rare cards, but I think I'm having trouble finding them, so I'll overpay for those. Okay, the next guy. Oh, and so the next guy up is Sam Jethro, and they called him the Jet. And he broke the color barrier with the Braves. And here's his card. The Boston Braves. Sam, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
A lot of 50
Sam
and 51 Bowmans.
Yeah, this is a 50.
Yep.
This is a 1950, and it's PSA 6. Excellent to mint. So I tried. The other thing that I didn't mention up front that I'll mention now is I tried to get the highest graded card that I could afford for each of these players, because I wanted this to be a special collection for me, and my sons, right? So I wanted to get the highest graded card I could afford. And so for Sam Jethro at the time, it was a 6.
It's still sharp. I mean, anytime you get a 6 from something in the 50s, you can't go wrong.
Right. I agree with you. And so here's the next guy that broke the color barrier for his team was the White Sox. And that's Minnie Minoso, who just got elected to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
And so at the time I was looking for Minoso, I was researching him, and I said, this guy is so awesome. He has 2 rookie cards.
He has 3, actually. He is the red man as well.
Well, you're right, 3. So and I didn't know that till later, till after I got these two. So he's got the 52 Bowman and the 52 Tops. And so I got the 52 Bowman right here. That was the first one. And that's a PSA 4. And then later on, I ended up getting his Tops, which was more expensive because it's a 52. Can you see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so this is his 52, Minnie Minoso's 52 rookie card, and it's graded by GAI.
Mike
and
Baker.
and it's graded a 4. So I know there's a lot of discussion about GAI, and they can't be trusted. Well, they can be trusted, especially their earlier stuff. Okay, and this is one of the first graded cards. It says first graded right on it.
The silver labels, at least what I've heard, is the silver labels are the good ones.
Yes.
You have to worry about the second generation when I believe someone else bought the company.
Yeah, and then they were just trying to make money.
Yep. So when the first stuff was really, really good because Baker had a lot of experience grading in the past with PSA. He was like, I believe their head authenticator. Now he still grades as well. He has his own company.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I trust those, right? I trust the early GAIs. So the next guy up is Bob Trice, okay? And Bob Trice broke the color barrier for the Philadelphia A's.
Nice 54 there as a 7 too.
Yeah, I love that card, man. It's beautiful, really, to hold in your hand. I have a funny story about this next card because this is an expensive one. I don't care what grade you're getting it in. This guy broke the color barrier for the Cubs.
Ernie Banks.
Yeah. And it's a BBG4. And so you can see, or maybe not, at the top, it's miscut. Okay.
All of them are though. Like they barely have any space. There's a few that are centered a little bit, but it's always tight at the top.
Yeah. So there's white between his name, the top of his name, there's white, but there's no white between the Cubs logo. And it just cuts across the very top of the Cubs. Yeah, it just cuts across the very top of the Cubs logo. So if this were to go to PSA, it would get an MC moniker, So I'll just keep the 4. The thing about it is BBG and SGC, that's part of their grading. That's why it's a 4. They know it's miscut, but they downgrade it because of that, right? So who knows? I mean, that might be like a PSA 6, miscut. Who knows?
Still look pretty sharp, the corners at least.
Oh yeah, it's damn sharp, man. That's a nice card. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. The funny story about that card is, I don't know if anyone or any of you guys know that the company that sells cards out west, they have the shop on eBay too. They're called Burbank Cards.
Oh, I was just at Burbank.
Oh, were you? Okay. So I had a deal. I worked for like a week to get a deal on an Ernie Banks rookie card with Burbank. And I think it was a GAI, and I think it was a 3. And I'd worked my ass off talking to him. Like we were back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We finally agreed on a price. I paid them. They go to send it. Well, they didn't send it for a week. And I said, hey man, what's going on? They go, we can't find it. Because they have a store, they have a real brick and mortar store along with their online stuff. And so they go, we're sorry, but we must have sold it, right? And I go, well, that doesn't help me. I said, this is my biggest purchase ever of a card, right? And so as soon as they said, they can't do it, I immediately got back online and I found that one. And that one was just a little bit more. It was like $100 more, and it's a 4. And I said, I'm getting it, And I just pulled the trigger immediately. There was no thought. There was no thought behind it. It was like,
hey,
I wanted that card.
That one looks nice, man. That's importance of buying the card rather than the grade. Who cares? It's a 4. You have a nice representation of the banks in your PC.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. So, okay, but here's the kicker. So Burbank Cards, to their credit, right? I have to credit Burbank Cards because, I talked to the president like after this happened, like after I waited a week and then they said they couldn't find it. Like I said, I've had it, man. Cause I was frazzled, and I talked to the president and I go, I said, I don't know how to feel. I said, I have no real recourse here. He goes, look, what's another card that we have that you want? And it just so happened, I'm going to show you this card. This is the guy who broke the color barrier for the New York Yankees, Alston Howard. Okay, it's up and down, but.
So they had that card in their inventory?
Yeah, I had it saved to my favorites. Like I was watching it. I was waiting for him maybe to make me an offer a little lower. And so I told him, I go, look, you've got a card that I want. Alston Howard, his rookie card. It's GAI 7. And he goes, it's yours. He said, we're sending it to you. So they sent me this for free.
That was really good on them.
It was good on them, and I never talk bad about Burbank cards, and I've actually talked them up to people who have asked if I've ever done business with them, and I tell them the story. I go, they'll end up doing the right thing, and that means a lot when you have a business, is doing the right thing.
100%. No, I'll say good things too. Like I didn't purchase anything when I went out there in LA, but great customer service. The card father, I think his name is Rob, was going around literally asking everyone how they're doing, if they need any help. Like he spent time talking to each person one-on-one. There's a lot of LCSs that you walk in, they won't even talk to you. Like personalized, just walking over, seeing how you're doing and everything, asking if you need anything or had any questions. And the store is packed, man. Like I was surprised how packed it was for an LCS.
Well, that's how I lost my Ernie Banks, because it's packed and someone bought it right under their nose. Probably the same.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. They have like, I can't remember. They have a full warehouse. Like, don't remember the exact number of cards. And then they have a room of all dollar singles. I think they said there was like 200,000 cards in that dollar room. It was insane.
Yeah, so it was probably someone bought it in store at the same time I hit the, sale button on eBay.
That happens though. I mean, I've had that happen where I brought cards to card shows and, I ended up trading it or selling at a show. I go check and it's sold either on like eBay or MySlabs, and I feel bad because it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I ended up moving it, and give a refund and give a discount if someone else wants another card.
Yeah, well, that's the right thing. So you're doing the right thing, and that's part of the danger you run when you're hanging it on multiple sales places, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's good. So the next guy is the Pirates color barrier breaker, and that's Curt Roberts. Another 54, GAI 7. And I absolutely love this card. It's one of my favorites. I love the orange. And at that time, the Pirates were blue and gold. Okay, you can see his helmet's blue and gold.
Yep.
The Pirates changed shortly after that to black and gold. But at that time in 54, that was their team colors, and it really pops against that orange background. Love that card. And he ended up breaking the color barrier for the Pirates on April 13th, 1954. That was opening day. The next guy is Tom Alston. He's a catcher for the Cardinals.
Nice looking one there.
Yep, it's a 1955 Bowman, near mint 7. So very happy with that. And that was another hard one to find in graded, because like I said, my goal was to get all graded cards, right? And I wanted to have the highest graded card I could get. The funny story about that one is another one that took me 6 months to find, because no one really knows Tom Alston, right? So people who have the Tom Alston cards, they're not going to send it in to get it graded unless they know or want it for probably the same purpose I wanted it for, right? Because he broke the color barrier for the Cardinals. So there just weren't a lot of them out there. I ended up overpaying for that one from Dean's Cards.
They have a lot of cool stuff, but man, it's expensive.
They have great stuff. It was expensive as hell, and I kicked myself in the ass 3 times a day after I bought that. Because I just showed total lack of patience. But I had been waiting for 6 months for something to come up, and it just I missed everything or whatever.
So I got to
So
ask you also, when researching the color barriers, so what did you do? Just go like the rosters year after year and figure out who the first African American was, and then like
um,
put out a spreadsheet, or how was the research process when you're building out this idea?
well, it started out by I Googled it, right? Just like everything else, I started out Googling it, and there were several articles about it. You know, several people had put these. Well, one guy had put this set together. I think he was on. It's a website called Net 54 or something like that.
Great forum.
Yeah, it is. I'm not a member, but I love reading what they have to say. um, so there was a guy on there who had done it, who had done this same collection, and he actually had pictures of the cards.
Well, that made it
Unfortunately,
easy.
well, unfortunately, I didn't find it until after I was like almost done. And I'll tell you a couple of the mistakes that I made. You know, and I was
Yeah, let's hear them. That
yeah,
helps out other people.
okay. So yeah, so here's one of them right here. I'll show you. Ozzie, this is Ozzie Virgil's rookie card. Ozzie Virgil broke the color barrier for the Detroit Tigers, right? And he did that in like 1958 or 59. Okay. But his rookie card is a 1957 New York Giants card. Okay. This is a really nice card.
Those are always off-centered.
Yeah, it's a 57. It's really nice. It's a 6. So Ozzie Virgil broke the color barrier for the Tigers. So when my research was really backwards, Ryan. Like I was just looking for stuff, right? And so like I would like Google Ozzie Virgil, you know, Detroit, because I knew he broke the color barrier for the Tigers. And this is the mistake. I'd type in Ozzie Virgil first card as a Tiger, and it would take me to his first card as a Tiger, and I bought it. Okay, I actually bought his first card as a Tiger, thinking that was his rookie card, only later to find out through these other resources like Net 54 and these other articles that I read that, oh, by the way, that's not his rookie card. His rookie card is a 57 with the Giants. So
okay, I did that. I did that quite a few times when I started researching cricket. I thought I found the rookie card of a person. I bought it, and then I find out just talking to a few friends that collecting it. No, he has a card 2 or 3 years earlier, and it's common. You can grab that card. I'm like, oh yeah, it was like $10-$20 to buy that card. And then even more researching that player, I find out, oh, there's another one a year or two earlier, and then that's on my list. Because I was trying to, for a while, I was going after all the cricket rookie cards, and some of them are impossible to find, but I try to at least have the earliest representation possible.
I didn't know you were a cricket guy. Ryan.
Yeah, I collect a lot of different sports. I love oddball cards.
Yeah, the cricket cards are awesome. There's another guy that's a friend of mine on Twitter. His name's Matthew Castellanos.
What's his that name?
That's his name, Matthew Castellanos.
Hold on, let me see if I follow him or know him.
He collects cricket cards and tennis.
I collect both as well. Let's see, Matthew. How do you spell his last name?
Castellanos. Castellanos.
Hold on, Matthew Castellano.
Yeah, Castellano maybe.
Okay, so he's from Maryland.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
That's let's see. Hold on. Have we ever talked? We have never talked. I didn't know he collected that stuff.
Seriously, he is a really good dude, man. You guys need to. I'll help you guys connect if you need to. Like, if you guys should definitely be following each other, though.
Yeah, we do follow each other. I just haven't talked to this guy before, unless we have, and just don't remember. But I didn't see anything in our DMs. Yeah, I gotta talk to him.
Castellano. Yeah, Matthew Castellano. That's his name. He's a super guy. Like, I talk to him all the time. He always has like the most positive things to say about me, because just like you guys, I kind of collect oddball things too. And he always has a positive thing to say about whatever it is I'm collecting, and there's just no substitute for that kind of positive feedback that we can give each other, and that we can help each other with. Like, you don't get paid extra for being an ass, Yeah. And it doesn't cost anything to be a good person and to be a friend and to give someone a kind word,
That's why I love the Twitter community, because it's all like super close. Everyone always tries to help each other out. Someone needs to find a card, like someone will go all their way. If the card show or shop, if they see it, they'll send it in the group, and like everyone always has each other back.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like, so one of the first things when I got in, like, so a guy knew that I liked Glenn Wilson or Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard, the 2 Army Heisman Trophy winners. He sent me autographed photos, 8x10s, glossy autographs, authenticated, of Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard that were his fathers. Just sent them to me, dude.
Really?
And I was like, what the? Yeah, I was like, what the? He goes, look, he goes, these were my dad's. He goes, they're in a notebook, you know. He said, I know that they would mean a lot more to you than they would to me sitting in a notebook and never getting looked. I mean, and so I've got them displayed in my display, right? I mean, they're prominently displayed because I love Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis in Army football. So it's just that, but that's typical on Twitter, right? Like that's not
nice.
Abnormal. People are, you know, niceness and kindness are like the norm there, which is terrific. And if someone's not, I mean, I have no problem blocking people. Like if I find someone to be in one time, life's too short to mess around with folks like that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, back to the show. Let's go with the sense. Oh, this is my favorite. I just got this card 2 days ago. Okay.
Ooh, let's
so
see
the Cincinnati, yeah, this is awesome, dude. I mean, this is groundbreaking. I don't know if this, because I never, in all my research, I never found this card. Okay. I don't know how I came across it because I saved an eBay search. Okay. Do you save eBay searches?
I do all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they only give me 200 and I have to delete searches because I have like a list of so many different cards that I want.
Yeah, I haven't reached my 200 limit yet, but it's coming, I'm sure.
I'm telling you, it gets really annoying because then you find another card you want and then you go save search and it goes, sorry, you already hit your maximum 200 searches, and you're like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Which card do I not like the most? All right, delete, and then adds there.
There are definitely some cards I don't need to search for anymore. I mean, I've reached the pinnacle, right, of those searches. So, but you're gonna love this because I love it.
All right, let's see it. I'm excited, man.
Makes perfect sense, right? That's logical. I love it, so you gotta love it. Okay.
Oh,
so
I will.
The guy who is credited, and all these people that I'm talking about, these are the people that are credited with breaking the color barrier for the different organizations by Major League Baseball. Okay, it's not like, okay, some historian just said, okay, you get we're going to pin the rose on you. This is Major League Baseball. These guys are the ones Major League Baseball recognizes, okay, as breaking the color barrier. So now we're to the Cincinnati Reds, okay? And the person who broke the color barrier that pinch hit first, okay, is Nino Escalara. And this is his card. Is the lighting bad on that?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
The autograph too? Or is that
it is autograph. Okay. He never had a card. Okay. He never had a card made, a playing days card. This is a team issue, Cincinnati Reds team issue, the only one ever issued for Nino Escalara from the Cincinnati Reds. You can get other cards of his, I believe, like maybe some Cuban or Puerto Rican maybe cards or something.
And those from the 40s?
This is a 1955 card.
Oh no, I was saying that the Cuban card, is it like a 46?
I'm not sure. I couldn't find one, dude. I couldn't find one of Nino Escalara. I'd given up.
I know Minozo has some stuff in the 40s as well. It's so rare though.
He's got some stuff on there now. It's the what's it called? Portivo or something like that.
I don't remember the name on top of my head, but I know there are a few Negro leaguers in that set as well. Like
he's got a couple online right now, and they're selling for quite a bit.
I can't imagine, especially that Hall of Fame bump.
So this is like finding a needle in a haystack, dude. For me, it came up on my search at 6 a.m. That's when my searches come in, and so I hear my phone going off. It's going, and for every search that hits, it goes ding. So it's going. My phone's going ding, 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 and I said, well, I might as well get up. So I got up. And there is Nino Escalara on a search, right? And I open it up and I go, holy shit, the guy's selling it, autographed card like this. And I found that there are other ones, but not for sale. But he's selling it for $75. Buy it now, right? So, I mean, I was buying it. I
You're like,
mean,
boom.
it could have been double the amount and I would have bought it, because I've never seen one, and I've never seen one since I bought it, a few days ago. Because usually after I buy something, I go back and see if they come up, see if I made a good decision or a bad decision.
They're all good decisions. You just don't look at the other sales.
Yeah, but I do. So anyway, so that's Nino Escalara was the first, and the thing about Nino Escalara is he's Latino. Okay, so he's Latino and he's black, and the same thing with Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente was Latino and he was black, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of players are Latino and also black, and so I think people need to come to grips with that, right? You can be more than one thing, right? I mean, we're a homogenous society now. We need to get over the phobias of being, trying to pigeonhole every person into one little place, right? Because you can be both. I mean, and these guys were both. Okay, just like this guy who broke the color barrier for the Senators, Carlos Paula from Cuba.
As an 8 too. That's nice.
Yeah, that's an 8. That's one of my best cards. 1955, Carlos Paula. Okay, he's from Cuba. He's Cuban. He's Cuban and he's black, right? So anyway, so that we're through. I'm sorry. This is typical of me getting. So here's the player who broke the color barrier also, who's credited for breaking the color barrier also for the Reds, and his name is Chuck Harmon. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, that's an 8 off center. Okay, which is not atypical for some 1954 cards.
No, they are all off center.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chuck Harmon was the pinch hitter right after Nino Escalara. They're and so they're Major League Baseball credits both of them with breaking the color barrier. Is that
the only team that has 2 people that are credited for breaking the barrier?
No, the Giants also. I think I covered that, or maybe I didn't make it clear, but the New York Giants, they had 2 players break the color barrier also. That was Hank Thompson and Monty Irvin.
Oh, okay. I remember you showed both of those cards.
Yeah. They broke the color barrier on the same day.
Got it.
Okay. And then you got Jay Hurd for the Orioles. Another great 54 card.
So with most of the teams then, was it all 50s? Was there any teams that went into the 60s or 70s for the color barrier?
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in just one second. I want to go over this one because this is a player whose rookie card is his team card, because that's the only card he had.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah, and that's him. Okay, he's when you're looking at the card, he's just to the right of center, and his name is John Kennedy.
What a name!
Yeah, famous name. And that's his only card. That's the only card he appeared on, right? So naturally, man, I had to go get it, right?
You got the Jfk Rookie.
So the last so the last team, right? The last team to break the color barrier was from the original teams, from the original 15 or 12 teams, was the Boston Red Sox. Okay, and the Boston Red Sox. The player who broke the color barrier for the Red Sox, his name is Pumpsie Green. Okay, he broke the color barrier on July 21st, 1959.
Autographed as well. Nice.
Yeah, that's an autograph, and I wanted to get it autographed because he was the last one, right? So it took me quite a while to find this, and then I had to pay a little extra, right? So, but it was worth it. It was worth it to me, right? To get Pumpsie Green in the house. Now, after I did that, though, I went back and I said, there were some other teams too, right? Who the expansion teams. Major League Baseball doesn't, they recognize the expansion teams as breaking the color barrier, but then again, they don't harp on it because integration had already taken hold by that point, right? Yep. So I do have the players that broke the color barrier for the expansion teams. Okay. The first one's the California Angels, Julio Beck. Oh, that's a 4. I have a better one than that. I actually upgraded that. I don't know where it is.
That's all right.
I upgraded from this SGC4 to a PSA 7.
Oh, nice. That's a big jump.
It is. It's huge, and it cost me nothing. It cost me like $10
Oh, steal.
for his card. And you can, dude, just to let everyone know, these cards that I'm showing you, you can find bargains on these. These are still bargain prices, dude. You can build this set. You can build the set that I'm holding. The cards that are going to cost you are, of course, the Jackie Robinson, the Larry Doby will cost you a little more. The Ernie Banks will cost you a little more. But, and now, Minnie Minoso is costing more.
And Irvin as well.
And Irvin's costing more, right? So it's becoming more expensive. But like, if you already have some of those,
also goes to show you that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to build out a PC. You can go out there with $50 or $100, and you can buy a lot of these cards raw. Like you don't need to buy a high grade right away. You buy something raw and you put it aside and you start chasing after things and have fun researching it.
Yeah, and it is. It's great, man. Learning about all these players and their backgrounds and what they did, what they had to suffer. The other ones I did were the expansion teams. I did the Mets, and I don't have the card right here. I do have the card, but it's a for the Mets. It was Charlie Neal. He started out with the Dodgers, and his rookie card is a 55 Bowman. And I've got it in a 6. I just don't have it. I didn't pull it for some reason.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so he broke the color barrier for the Mets along with Felix Mantilla, whose rookie card is right here with the Braves, 1957. And that's a 5. By the time I got to these, I wasn't really buying the highest graded card I could afford. I was buying the highest graded card my wife would let me buy. So that was the deal with Felix Mantilla. That's why he got a 5.
That's all right.
This one was really inexpensive, and it's a great card. It's 1957 Roman Mejias, and he broke the color barrier for the Houston Colts. The Houston Colt 45s. Yeah, it's an 8. It's a really nice card. His rookie year was with the Pirates, but he actually broke the color barrier for the Houston Colt 45s along with Jim Pendleton, and this is a great card, man.
53.
Yeah, Jim Pendleton, his rookie card was 1953. He got traded to the Houston Colt 45s and broke the color barrier for him in 1962.
Is it like an opening day type thing?
Yep, April 14th, 1962. Roman Mejias, the card I just showed you, Jim Pendleton, and this guy right here, Johnny Weekly.
Those are tough. They always chip pretty well.
Yep. So, and that's an 8. So those are the guys that broke the color barrier, right? And that was like, to me, that was like a huge thing. And my youngest son was getting into it. He was like, "How many more do you need, Dad? How many more do you got to go?" And it's cool. It's, and like you said, it didn't cost me a ton of money. And it was fun, and it was something I enjoyed. I enjoy diversity, especially in Major League Baseball. I think it's America's melting pot, between, I always called the Army, where I came from, the melting pot of the United States. And I believe that's true, but baseball is also a huge melting pot. I mean, look at all the nationalities represented in baseball,
I mean, you have a big baseball culture in Asia, Latin America, and America right now. And obviously there's some in Canada. Hockey is the sport up there, but there are some Canadian baseball players. One just made the Hall of Fame, Larry Walker.
So have we exhausted our time?
We can do a little bit longer, but pretty much, yeah. I know, like, people kind of drop off after an hour.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to see? Like after I finished that project, just to let you know, after I finished that project, then my goal was to collect the rookie card, a graded rookie card of every player who played in the Negro leagues and made it to Major League Baseball. And I've got about, like, I've used different resources, right? There's a guy on Twitter that's great for this. His name's Scott Simkus. You probably follow him.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Scott Shimkus. And he was responsible for when Major League Baseball decided to recognize the Negro Leagues as part of Major League Baseball. They turned to Scott and said, tell us what their stats are so we can add them, to Major League Baseball. That's how smart Scott is.
Wow.
But there are tons of guys that I've talked to and that have helped me, right? I mean, on Twitter. And then there are books out there. There's all kinds of stuff. Scott Simkus sent me an excerpt of a book. That was my first resource. It had every player. It's a list of every player that played in the Negro leagues that made the Major League Baseball with their name, the date that they made their debut in Major League Baseball, the team that they made it with, the team they played for in the Negro leagues. It's awesome. But here, I'll just let me show you a few that I'm really, really excited about. Okay, sure. That I've just gotten recently. And when it's time to cut off, say, okay, just give me the high.
I'd say probably just show like 3 or 4, and then we'll finish off this episode.
Okay, cool. So there are several things about making it, playing in the Negro leagues and then making it to the majors. There was one Caucasian player that did it, right?
Really? There's Caucasian players in Negro leagues.
He was in the Negro League and played Major League Baseball, but I didn't include him because he didn't suffer the same kind of indignities, and have the same kind of hurdles and challenges that these great, I call them Major League Baseball pioneers. These great pioneers had to overcome, right, to reach what was then the pinnacle of baseball, right? So first of all, I go back to the Cuban players, right? Before Jackie Robinson, there are about 12 or 14 players, and they're mostly light-skinned Cubans. But just the fact that they had to start in the Negro leagues meant that there was a difference recognized and they were treated differently, right? So one of the players that fits that category from the Cuban leagues is Ramon Herrera. He played for the Boston Red Sox.
An exhibit right there.
Yep, it's an exhibit card. It's a 1921 exhibit card. I've never seen another one. I've looked for this card for 2 years now, and this is the only one I've ever found.
Wow.
And again, it's one of those cards I would have paid any price for. Right? Now here, there are 2 players. I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but there are 2 players who, until I started my research, 2 players were believed not to have mainstream rookie cards, but my research uncovered that they do have rookie cards. And again, it's the team cards, right? Because I was so fascinated and intrigued with John Kennedy having his only rookie card was a team card. There are 2 other guys that fit that category. One is Charles Pete, who made his debut with the Cardinals in 1956. And this is the 1957 Cardinals team card, which he is pictured in. And his name is actually on the back. So, I mean, but anyway, it's kind of a discovery for me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I discovered that because no other researchers knew that until I just found it. The other guy is Marshall Bridges. Okay, Marshall Bridges was a fantastic pitcher. Pitched for the New York Yankees. Pitched in the World Series for the New York Yankees, for the winning New York Yankees. And his rookie card is the 1964 Yankees team card. It doesn't have the names of the players. And the way I found out that he wouldn't sign with Topps. One of the things is he wouldn't sign with Topps. Okay, that's why he doesn't have a rookie card. But somehow he got in the team picture of the 1964 year. He tragically died, like in a car accident, like a year after the team picture. So it's kind of tragic. But Anyway, that's the only card he's pictured on mainstream. That's his rookie card. And I kind of discovered that, right? Now, the way I discovered it was because the card itself, it doesn't have the names of the players. And I've got it in a box. I didn't pull it. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Because I didn't know we were going to talk about it. But anyway, just to finish the story. So what I did is I took that team picture and I compared it to photos of that team, right? And you can tell if they're the same, even though Topps has some terrible team pictures, like where you can't really tell the people, like you can tell the way they're positioned, you know, and some of the body language, you can tell if it's the same photo. So I found a photo and I said, that's Marshall Bridges and that's Marshall Bridges. It's the same photo, right? They use the same photo. And so that's kind of 2 success stories for me. Pat myself on the back, you know.
I think that's the best part about cards and researching, because it's so much fun figuring out who's on what card, or finding a new set that you didn't know was out there, and then writing it down and just learning so much more about it, because not all the information is online.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And you know, I get excited about the Negro League cards. Glenn Williams, my buddy, he's excited about the Negro League cards now, you know.
Yeah. He messaged me a few times to make sure that you were on the episode. So without Glenn, you wouldn't have been on here. So Glenn, thank you for telling me to get Curt and his Negro League collection.
Hey, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, no problem. And then your Twitter again, so people can follow you on there.
Oh, my Twitter is it's at Curt CURT_burner.
All right, guys. If you don't have a Twitter, make sure to make one and make Curt one of your first follows on there. Always posting a lot of great cards. Hey, Curt, thanks again for jumping on.
Thanks. I always follow back too.
There you go. Make another reason to follow him.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, no problem.